Okay, guys, so there you have it. What do you think?
It's really good, but it's not enough. I think we have to research more about it.
Yes, I agree. I suggest that we should have the research individually first, and after that, we will share it in our group.
Okay, that's a great idea. I also suggest that we divide the topic so that we will avoid alterations. One will research with the definition, one will work in the natural selection, one will research about the evidences that will support the theory, and one will work into the controversies against the theory.
The task is given beforehand, and later we will discuss it individually.
Okay, that's a great idea. Guys, are you now ready?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, then Camille, let's start with the definition.
okay. According to my research, the theory of evolution by natural selection was first formulated in Darwin's book On the Origin of Species in 1859. It is the process by which organisms change over time as a result of changes in heritable physical or behavioral traits. Changes that allow an organism to better adapt to its environment will help it survive and have more offspring. Evolution by natural selection is one of the best substantiated theories in the history of science, supported by evidence from a wide variety of scientific disciplines, including paleontology, geology, genetics, and developmental biology. The theory has two main points. First, all life on Earth is connected and related to each other. Secondly, this diversity of life is a product of modifications of populations by natural selection, where some traits were favored in an environment over others. To simplify it all, the theory can be described as descent with modifications. Did you guys understand it?
Yeah.
Yes. And now I will discuss the natural selection. Natural selection is the differential survival and reproduction of individuals due to differences in phenotype. It is a key mechanism of evolution, which is the change in the heritable traits characteristics of a population over generations. Natural selection can change a species in small ways, causing a population to change color or size over the course of several generations. This is called microevolution. The theory is sometimes described as survival of the fittest, but that can be misleading. In Darwin's theory, fitness refers to an organism's ability to survive and reproduce, not to an organism's strength or athletic ability. For example, a study on human evolution on 1,900 students published online in the journal Personality and Individual Differences in October 2017 found that many people may have trouble finding a mate because of rapidly changing social technological advances that are evolving faster than humans. Nearly one in two individuals faces considerable difficulties in the domain of dating. In most cases, these difficulties are not due to something wrong or broken, but due to people living in an environment which is very different from the environment they evolved to function in. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Ira. And I will now present the evidences. The evidences presented in the theory of evolution were through the discoveries of fossil fuels found in different continents. It is possible to decipher how a particular group of organisms evolved by arranging its fossil records in a chronological sequence. Such a sequence can be determined because fossils are mainly found in sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed by layers of silt or mud on top of each other. Thus, the resulting rock contains a series of horizontal layers of strata. Each layer contains fossils typical for a specific time period when they are formed. The lowest strata contain the oldest rock and the earliest fossils, while the highest strata contain the youngest rock and more recent fossils. A succession of animals and plants can also be seen from fossil discoveries. Did you know that? And by studying the number and complexity of different fossils at different stratigraphic levels, it has been shown that older fossil-bearing rocks contains fewer types of fossilized organisms, and they all have simple structures, whereas younger rocks contains a greater variety of fossils, often with increasingly complex structures. Throughout the fossil records, many species that appear at an early stratigraphic level disappear at a later level. Why? This is interpreted in evolutionary terms as indicating the times when species originated and became extinct. Geographical records and climatic conditions have varied throughout Earth's history. Since organisms are adapted to particular environments, the constantly changing conditions favored species that adapted to new environment through the mechanism of natural selection. And that's it.
Okay, nice. So now, guys, let's now proceed to our last topic, which are the controversies. So, guys, listen attentively. So, the major controversy faced by the Darwinian theory was the issue that teaching of evolution in the nation's school would ensure the whole generations would grow up believing that the Bible was no more than a collection of myths and would undermine the country's Christian faith in favor of the doctrine of survival of the fittest. Since then, most criticisms and denials of evolution have come from religious groups rather than from the scientific community. Although many religion groups have found reconciliation of their beliefs with evolution, such as through theistic evolution, other religious groups continue to reject evolutionary explanations in favor of creationism, which is the belief that the universe and life were created by supernatural forces. Regardless of acceptance from major religious hierarchies, early religious objections to Darwinian theory continue in use in opposition to evolution. The ideas that species change over time through natural processes and that different species share common ancestors and seem to be contradicted the genesis of account of creation. That's it.
Wow. Darwin's theory of evolution is really interesting.
Yes, that's what you said. And because of our discussion, we learned so much about it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you also. So now let's start working on our activities.
Of course, again, thank you for cooperating, and next time we will do it again. Thank you for the fruitful conversation, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.